Welcome back to my channel, everyone. Today we're going to follow up on my most recent video where I went to the flea market and found a variety of old vintage cards, a few new cards, and then these little 30-cent team bags of, or not team bags, but just little Ziploc bags of random cards from 1993 Topps. And I figured I would take a shot on them because the Derek Jeter rookie is in 1993 Topps. Now, the chance of this being in one of these 8 packs is very, very slim. I would give it maybe a less than 1% chance. But the only reason I purchased them, besides the fact that they were 30 cents each, is because the booth that I found them in wasn't really a sports card booth. It was kind of more of your typical home goods and crafty type of thing. And it just happened to have these 8 packs of cards in one of the little bowls on a table. So maybe there's a chance that whoever had this booth just kind of tossed these cards in here without knowing what's inside. But I highly, highly doubt it. I actually filmed the opening of this video earlier and then I couldn't get into the pack, so I have pre-cut them. You can kind of see here cards coming out of the top just so I didn't have to struggle on camera opening the packs because they were tightly taped. So anyway, I don't believe this first one may have any 1993 Topps cards. We do have a Nolan Ryan Hall of Famer right on the top here, but then we have these Upper Deck cards. Randy Myers, one of the nasty boys from back in the days. Oh, here's a 93 Topps. Sid Bream, remember him from that classic playoff game with Barry Bonds. Gary Varsho, his son, Dalton Varsho, is with the Arizona Diamondbacks and just got sent to minor league camp. He will not be starting the season. There's a Gold Cup rookie of Kenny Lofton. That's not a bad one. I like Kenny Lofton. Gino Petralli. Now, these might be actually Series 2 cards, because see how they're numbered 332. Otis Nixon. There's a draft pick card of Jason Kendall. Jason Kendall now works for the Royals in their front office. That is the design we're looking for, though. We just want the Derek Jeter instead. There's some more Upper Deck cards. Calvin Murray. There's an Albert Bell. I think I have that in my binder still from way back in the day. Alex Gonzalez, Darren Fletcher, Tony Tarasco, and finishing it off with Brian Smith. He's a pitcher from way back in the day. So we were 0 for 1, which is not completely unexpected. Let's go to pack number 2. We'll move Kenny Lofton and Jason Kendall there on screen. That Jason Kendall is the design we're looking for. Doug Drabek was a good pitcher back in the day, as was Sid Fernandez. Hippolito Pichardo, every time I went to watch the Royals as a kid, it seemed like he was the pitcher. And I mean, he wasn't horrible. He was just kind of the back of the rotation type of guy. So I never really got to see the big names. Not that the Royals really had a big name starting pitcher back then. Chico Leand, McFarland, Keith Miller, Rusty Meacham. He pitched out of the bullpen. I kind of liked him as a kid. Terry Shumpert was a second baseman. Brian McRae, the son of Hal McRae, if you are not a Kansas City fan and you are not sure of that. Chris Gwynn, who I believe is the brother of Tony Gwynn. Tom Gordon, Flash Gordon, the father of Dee Gordon, or he called himself D. Strange Gordon. And there's Bo Jackson. Can't pass up Bo Jackson. So not as many Topps cards in that one. We'll try pack number 3. Here we go. Joe Grahe. Don't know anything about him for the Angels. Eric Anthony. He was like a hyped rookie way back in the day, as was Tim Salmon. Salmon was a very good player. Kent Hrbek was very good. There's a Gold Cup card of Eric Karros, who was a Rookie of the Year. That's back when the Dodgers had Rookie of the Year, like, what, 2 or 3 years in a row? They had Todd Hollandsworth and then Eric Karros and then maybe even somebody up. Dan Plesac, I love watching him on MLB Network, and his son is a stud pitcher. I believe it's his son. There's a Plesac who's pitching for Vanderbilt right now who's an absolute just filthy pitcher who is one of the top prospects for this upcoming MLB draft. So these are all Series 1 cards. And these are actually in order, it looks like. There's Jeff Bagwell. Some of those are. There's Jeff Bagwell, Hall of Famer. That's a young Jeff Bagwell, too. Maybe a second or third year card. Kind of set him off to the side. Tom Goodwin. I believe he's a third base coach, a first base coach right now. David Hulse. There's Ramon Martinez, the brother of Pedro Martinez. Scott Erickson. He was the big thing back in the day, 1991, 1992. Now, unfortunately, I believe he got himself into some legal trouble. I think that was him for, like, he was racing with someone else. They were racing down the street, and the person he was racing with, their car ran into somebody, and I think might have even killed somebody. I could be wrong about that. John Wetland, we're not going to talk about him. There's a Rob Ducey, Tommy Green. Oh, here's the design we're looking for. 1993 draft pick. Could I get lucky? No, 1992 draft pick. Sorry, that's Mississippi State. B.J. Wallace. Okay, so we're 0 for 2, but we did find it. This is card number 33. The Jeter, I believe, is card 23. John Smoltz, there's a Hall of Famer. We'll put him over here by Bagwell. Esteban Beltre. Larry Walker, there's recent Hall of Famer. Larry Walker, just inducted my favorite player as a kid, Juan Gonzalez. So you're all around. Wade Boggs, there's another Hall of Famer. I mean, for 30 cents, we're doing pretty well here. Gary Carter, another Hall of Famer. So they're loading me up with Hall of Famers here. Mike Scioscia, very famous, now as a manager. Greg Maddux, Hall of Famer, one of the best pitchers of all time. David Justice was a very, very good. Another stud, Dennis Eckersley, Hall of Famer again. This one is on fire. Jeff Ennis, not exactly Hall of Famer. Luis Rivera, Scott Livingstone, Gold Cup. Bob Patterson, Melito Perez, and then Ed Nunez. So that was the best one by far. We've got 4 left. We've hit 2 draft picks. None is the Jeter. Will we get lucky? Let's see. Greg Olson, Denny Neagle, Charlie O'Brien, Mike Gardner, John Olerud. Always liked him. He wore his helmet out there in the field whenever he played first base. Oh, there it is again. Rick Green. We have the 3rd draft pick card, but not the Jeter. Tino Martinez. Travis Fryman was very good back in the day. Lee Smith is in the Hall of Fame as a relief pitcher and a closer. Gene Larkin, Roberto Kelly, the Big Cat, Andres Galarraga. Used to like him, especially when he went to Colorado and he put up absolutely insane numbers. Kevin, that is not, is that Kevin Moss? It looks like Paul O'Neill, but it's Kevin Moss. He had that one big season and then never really was able to live up to it. Steve Olin, rest in peace, I believe he passed away. And then Rob Deere, who led the league in strikeouts way back before striking out was a common occurrence, like that 179, 186, 153. He was your classic swing and miss hitter that now is not really that big of a deal, but back then was very much more frowned upon. All right, another 1993 pack here. Craig Graybeck, who was a utility infielder. Dwayne Ward, Corey Snyder. There's a Will Cordero, Jose Guzman, Mike Bilecki, Xavier Hernandez, Tim Berg for the Yankees. We've got a checklist. McCaskill, Ron Darling, like his MLB Network stuff. John Jaha, I believe he's from Australia. Oh, no, he's from Oregon. Darren Dalton, Facero, Lenny Harris, Velarde, Bankhead, Cal Ripken. There's a nice... Oh, and a McGuire right after that. Cal Ripken and Mark McGuire back-to-back. 2 really nice ones. Dave Winfield, another absolute stud of a player, Hall of Famer. Mickey Morandini, and then Mike Schooler. We're coming down to the nitty-gritty, guys. There's 2 left. We'll move Cal Ripken over a little bit. The final 2. Mike Morgan, pitching coach now, I believe. Tom Hinkie is from Missouri. And there's a lot of people who have his autograph. I see he's born in Kansas City and then is from the Missouri area. Steve Sachs, Delino DeShields. His son is still trying to hang on in the major leagues. I believe he's with Texas. Dave Alley, he does good work on MLB Network as well. Trevor Wilson. Candiotti throwing that knuckleball. John Smiley. Brian Harper for the Twins. H-Rod, Henry Rodriguez. Luis Gonzalez, a young Luis Gonzalez. That might be his... No, he's played a couple seasons, but Luis Gonzalez, who made his name more so in Arizona than with Houston. Danny Tartabull played for the Royals there for a while. Tom Glavine, Hall of Famer. That's a nice one. I believe he's in the Hall of Fame. Randy Myers, Tim Fortugo, Paul Ossenmacher, Herb Winningham, and Orlando Merced. Okay, we're down to the last one. I'm not very hopeful, but I've been pretty pleased for, what, $2.40? I've hit a pretty nice collection of star players. Now, obviously, these cards don't carry a ton of value, but they're in nice shape. And it's still been pretty fun to kind of just go through these. Shane Mack, Scott Lewis, Brian Hickerson, can't say I remember him. Steve Finley from Paducah, Kentucky. He was a very solid player in his own right, although not a Hall of Famer. I'd just call him in the Hall of Very Good. Greg Vaughn, Wes Chamberlain. There's a young Sammy Sosa. Got a Gary DiSarcina and a Doug Linton. Lou Whitaker. Oh, there it was. Another draft pick card, Chad McConnell. Unfortunately, Chad did not quite make it. Tim Wakefield, a young Tim Wakefield, another knuckleballer. Leo Gomez. Jose Rijo was very good for both the Reds and then I think maybe the A's later on. Robbie Thompson. And then Mark Lemke for the Braves finishes us off. So, overall, we did not hit the Jeter. We did hit 4 of the draft pick cards, and you can see most of them were for Series 1. This one, I believe, is Series 2. No Jeter, but that's going to be just the way it goes. We did get quite the variety of Hall of Famers. You can see up there up top. So I adjust the camera. Maddox, Boggs, Walker, Carter, Eckersley, that top row, all in the Hall of Fame. Smoltz. Can't really see him very well. There he is. Smoltz, Bagwell, Salmon's not in the Hall of Fame. Nolan Ryan is. Kenny Lofton, a solid player. And then down at the bottom, Juan Gone, Lee Smith, Luis Gonzalez, Sammy Sosa, Cal Ripken Jr. hiding back there, Glavine, and then I have a McGuire and a Dave Winfield right there as well. So thank you so much for joining me on this one, guys. I did not find the